Sup, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? Oh, that's Spicy here. So today I'm bringing you something pretty cool. It's a deck I've been working on for quite a while now, and yeah. So the deck is the Gravekeepers. I find Gravekeepers really cool. I've tried many alterations of this deck, and I've always tried to build a deck, and I think now's the time when I've actually got enough support to be semi-decent. I would say it's a competitive strategy, but it's pretty fun. So I'm not 100% settled with this. I'm not sure this is the perfect build for Gravekeepers, but this is what I got. It works kind of alright, you know, but I thought I'll film the profile anyway, and then if you guys have any suggestions of what I could do with it, please leave a comment down below. So, start with, we run the 3 Spiritualist. So Spiritualist, basically, when Necro Valley's on the field, you can use Spiritualist effect to use Spiritualist and a Gravekeeper. Well, it's not actually, doesn't specify Gravekeeper, but special summon, spellcast a fusion monster from your extra deck. So we basically use it to summon our Supernaturalist. There's probably somewhere, somehow, that you can actually use this differently, but because it only says spellcaster, it doesn't specify Gravekeepers, but I haven't found that yet. I've not really tried looking for it. So you get rid of Gravekeeper from your hand with this to fusion summon Supernaturalist. So Spiritualist is one of your better starter cards if you start with Necro Valley. Now, another one of your good cards is Commandant. So Commandant basically is the only one that's really awkward because it's an Earth attribute, but, you know, that's the only reason really you don't want to try the stun variant. I've tried it and this ended up just bricking. So with this card, you discard this card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 Necro Valley from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. It's terraforming for the deck, which is pretty handy. So that's pretty decent. Plus 1600 when Gravekeeper's on, it's then like, what, 21? So that's pretty decent. Then we got 2 Gravekeepers Spy. Spy is slow because of the flip effect, but, you know, if you ever need to, just in the slow kind of grind game, Spy is pretty handy. So you lay it down, and then when it's flip summoned, you special summon Gravekeeper monster with 1500 attack from your deck. It's a free special summon, it's pretty handy. And plus it's level 4, so it comes good when you want to go into like Dweller or Babuska and stuff. Then we got the 2 Recruiter. So Recruiter, again, is pretty similar to Spy. So if this card you control is sent to the graveyard, it doesn't specify it has to be destroyed, but it does say it has to be controlled. So it's not like Cyber Dragon Hurts where you can send it from the deck or something. This has to be on the field, but once you, like, say, link summon it away, it then you can use it to add a Gravekeeper monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck. So I've now been thinking about this, and what this deck kind of needs is like a Gravekeeper 1 link monster. Because you summon Recruiter, you can link it, and then you can get, say, Commandant, and then do something. I don't know. But Recruiter is a 2-off, same with Spy, so you got 4 Searchers, pretty handy, and yeah. Then this one is Gravekeeper's Headman, one of the Soul Fusion ones. So with this card summoned, you can target 1 level 4 Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard, special summon it in attack position or face down defense position. So Headman is actually pretty good. It's a level 3, which works well because, as you just saw there, other than Recruiter, most of your Gravekeepers are level 4s. So Headman, you know, is like a monster reborn because you can summon it and then target 1 Gravekeeper from your... normally, I would go for the Spiritualist because then you can go from your place from there. But yeah, Headman's pretty decent. And then 1 Descendant. Descendant, you contribute this card 1 other face-up Gravekeeper monster and target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy that target. It's pretty handy. I mean, it's not the best thing. Again, it's kind of slow, but this deck is kind of slow. So on that note of slow, you can get to the point where you get a bit overrun and a bit overpowered because there's not a lot of big boss monsters. So we run 2 Era Millions. So the extra deck space is not that necessary. So Era Millions comes in handy because with Era Millions, you special summon it by getting rid of, like, say, 5 extra deck cards. Give it 500 attack, whatever. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster face down. So it's a once per turn, which is a bit of a shame, but that is clutch. Like, that is such a good card. It's so good. Another card I had tried was Chaos Dragon Levineer, but no. That just didn't work with this deck. With Necro Valley, it just doesn't work. But Era Millions at 2 is very handy. It's come in quite a few times when I've been struggling, and then you just drop your millions and you just go. Because it also banishes the opponent's monster, doesn't destroy it, which is also pretty decent. For hand traps, we just run the 3 Ash. It's the best hand trap. I didn't really want to fill this deck without hand traps and stuff, because Gravekeepers is quite monster-based. You kind of want to get through monsters, because you want to be able to get out your Spiritualist. So, I just kept the hand trap count pretty low. So, Ash was the one for that. We go to spells with 3 of the best card, Necro Valley. So, Necro Valley has something like 12 erratas, just nuts. But for this one, all Gravekeeper monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Cards in either player's graveyard cannot be banished. Also, negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard other than itself to a different place. So the Gravekeeper cards, most of them say are unaffected by the effects of Necro Valley. But Necro Valley is just, it is kind of, it stops a lot of decks because they can't graveyard recur, they can't just do a lot of their plays because of Necro Valley. So Necro Valley is pretty decent. I mean, I have actually fit a little bit with like a Mystic Mine variant, which, you know, a little bit more testing, you never know. So, onto that, you also got your Throne, another new card from Soul Fusion. Necro Valley Throne is basically a searcher, so you add 1 Gravekeeper monster from your deck to your hand, and then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 Gravekeeper monster. So yeah, pretty decent. Now, my favorite card, Royal Tribute. So, Royal Tribute, if you control Necro Valley, both players discard any monsters in their hands. Nuts, right? So, I actually played a Thunder Dragon player and had Necro Valley on the field, and then Royal Tribute it, and they were playing the they were playing the Sekka's Light version. So, you can see what happened there. Also, we play 1 Super Poly for just some basic Super Poly targets. I actually tried this at 2, but because the next card that I then played, I then just knocked it down to 1 just because I wanted to keep this as close to 40 as possible. I may change it back up, but it got to the point where I wasn't swarming the field with too many darks, and I didn't then want to use my own targets for Super Poly. So I just stuck it at 1. Now, the 3 cards I don't own, so I got Orcas for Pot of Extravagance. So, Pot of Extravagance, if you don't know, at the start of your main phase, banish 3 or 6 random face-down cards from your extra deck. Face down, draw 1 card for every 3 banished. So, yeah. Pot of Extravagance is the best one for this. I tried Desires, and you'd always banish cards that you wanted, like just Spiritualist and Commandant and that, so it just wasn't worth Desires. So I went for Extravagance. Now, if you can't afford Extravagance, you can always try cards like Allure of Darkness, cards like, Desires, even Duality, you know. There's many options, but Extravagance is not the budget version, of course, but it would do. Now, onto the traps. We got a pretty hefty one, so we'll actually clear up the spells. Let's go into traps. So I go for the 3 Solemn Strikes, the 1 Judgment, and the 1 Warning. So, the Solemn Package, everyone knows the Solemn Package now. It is pretty handy in this deck because you want to be able to stop your opponent from doing things, especially when you're going to get, like, owned by something. You want to stop them from summoning that certain monster or, you know, activating that effect. So the Solemn Package comes in. If Judgment does get unbanned or unlimited, I'm not sure I'd up it, but it will be something to consider. So yeah, so the Solemn Package is definitely in. Then we only run 1 of the Imperial Tombs of Necro Valley. I have seen others try the other trap cards, but this basically, when a spell trap card or monster phase is activated while both Gravekeeper monster and Necro Valley are on the field, negate the activation if you destroy it. It's basically like a Solemn Strike, but you have to have the 2 Necro Valley and the Gravekeeper monster, so I'd rather run strikes and the extra Solemn cards than run more of this. But, so that basically gives us like 6 Solemn cards. Pretty cool. And then I run 2 Infinite Permanents. Again, would be at 3, but I don't know. I just stuck to 2, and I wanted to include this card at 3, so it was kind of take 1 Impermanence out to fit the 3rd of this in. I may drop, say, I don't know, Imperial Tombs for it. It's kind of one of those things. It sits in the side deck. I don't have a side deck for this, but I can suggest cards for it, obviously. So 2 Impermanence. Now my favorite card in this deck is the 3 Summon Limit. So this deck is not a swarming deck. You don't swarm the field in the way that most of the meta decks do. So when it comes to Summon Limit, you drop Summon Limit, and they just don't, I know people are maining, like, spell and trap removal, but not everyone's maining that many. So if you have Summon Limit and Necro Valley, it's kind of like you're stopping them from both plays. So they have to destroy one, and they not always can destroy both, other than, like, Twin Twisters and stuff. But you got 6 copies of just a lockdown strategy, which is just nuts. So yeah, 3 Summon Limit is a little techie choice, but it just is so handy for this deck. Onto the extra deck. The obvious 3 Supernaturalists, sorry. So, Gravekeepers Supernaturalist. Basically, mostly, as you can tell, we just summon this off of Spiritualist. Can be done with Super Poly, but mostly it's done with Spiritualist. So, this card gains attack and defense equal to the combined original levels of the materials used for its fusion summon times 100. Sure, whatever. While Necro Valley is on your side of the field, this card and any card in your field zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. So with this on the field, Necro Valley can't be destroyed by card effects. So it's nuts. During your main phase, you can activate this effect. During your end phase of this turn, add 1 Gravekeeper monster or Necro Valley card from your deck to your hand. So this is a every turn searcher. It's once per turn. The annoying thing is you have to activate it every turn at the main phase for it to then resolve in the end phase. But, whatever. So it sits at 2,000, but straight away, if you have Necro Valley on the field, that's, 25. Normally, I have this sitting at around 30, 33, so it's nuts. Now, we got some Super Poly targets. We might as well show off with the fusions. So you got a 2 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, the obvious one, and then a Predaplant Draco Stelia. So 1 fusion, 1 dark, 2 dark monsters on the field except tokens. Pretty standard Super Poly targets. Also, I like to run the 1 Violet Chimera for the Salmon Great matchup. It happens. It is good. When you lay this, when you just slap this down, they just are like, what? You're playing Gravekeepers, and now you just, like, have a Violet Chimera. But yeah, it's pretty nuts. Now, links, this doesn't really matter, let's face it. So, YuGiOh is probably the best one. Underclock Taker just for the arrow. Cerberus for the ability to destroy special summon cards, and Phoenix for the ability, the spell of trap disruption if you need it. But yeah, they're not really handy. YuGiOh Apprentice, on the other hand, is kind of handy. So I have had this situation where I've been able to go into 2 Supernaturalists in 1 turn, and I thought, okay, so I can only put 1 out. So YuGiOh Apprentice, Also, with YuGiOh Apprentice, all dark monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. All the Gravekeepers, apart from Commandant, are dark. So that's pretty handy. Onto the XCs, Time Thief Redoer, Abyss, and Babushka. So, this is nuts. Time Thief Redoer is broken. Like, every standby phase, you can just take the top card of your opponent's deck and attach to this card. If it's a spell card, you just detach and draw 1 card. If it's a monster, you banish this card, so it just hides this card away. If it's trap, you place 1 face-up card on the field. The thing is, this doesn't even get affected by Necro Valley because you banish it from field to the banish zone, not from the graveyard to the field, graveyard to the banish zone, which is pretty nuts. And last but not least, this is funny and it has come up before anyone judges. Black Rose Dragon. So you're going to be sitting there thinking, hey, what do you use as a tuner? Ironically, it's Ash. Ash is level 3 and a tuner. So it has come up more times than you can think. So most of the Gravekeepers, as we've already said, Spy, Commandant, Spiritualist, and even Descendant are level 4s. So just being able to have access to Black Rose Dragon, I know it's a hand trap, and you're getting rid of a hand trap, but it has come up where I wanted to nuke the board, just completely destroy everything, and Black Rose Dragon comes in handy for that. So yeah, the ability to just use up a hand trap to go into Black Rose Dragon is hilarious. I mean, if you don't want to nuke it, you can always go into like something else and do something else. You don't obviously have to run it, you can run something else, but I did find that I didn't really care much for the extra deck, and the idea that, okay, I've done my extravagance, I've done this, I've done that, oh, I still have access to Black Rose? Okay, sure, boom, you know, but whatever. I could probably try and run something else to be a tuner instead, but I just like the idea. It's a one-off, it's, you know, hilarious when you do it, but yeah, it's good fun. So, that is my Gravekeeper deck. Don't knock it till you try it, like, seriously. People have a habit of slagging off decks that they've not even played, like, so it is good fun. But if you have any suggestions, like, that you feel could make this deck better, please, like, leave them in comments down below. I want to hear them, you know. If you think of an engine, like, you know, like Spellbook engine or something that could make this deck better, please let me know, and I'll check it out, because I do enjoy playing this deck. It is fun. I've had many iterations of it, many strategy ideas, but this is the one that I just go for. It's just pretty hilarious, and Era Millions, and some of the other little choices in this are pretty handy. So, if you like the content I produce on the channel, please feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload, like the videos, and comment on the videos, and as always, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.